Hey guys, and it's Flight Sim Today here. I just want to say thank you for watching this video. The content you're about to watch was taken originally from Airline to Sim, who are no longer training. You cannot even get this program anymore. It's gone. Originally £40, it was an in-depth and really good resource for the A320, which is still relevant today if you're using the Phoenix program. Originally hosted by Ben, and they had a guy called James who was a real airline A320 pilot. I will be taking the 27 episodes where possible, snipping them up into much smaller chunks, making it easier for you to digest, and maybe you don't want to learn one thing but learn another. So if that's your thing, please do subscribe so that you can keep up to date with all the new videos that will be coming out over the coming weeks and related to this.
Right, the ADIRS, and we can see this is kind of split up into the ear and the ad.
Yeah.
So is that the ad and the ears make the ADIRS?
Yeah, pretty much. It's one of those Airbus things where I feel like they felt they had to rename everything. They're like, no, it's not. It's not an FCU. It's a it's like the MCDU, not the FC. It's like, okay, come on, guys.
Okay,
whatever. They just have to kind of add their own name onto it. So they decided to call it an ADIRS, ADIRS, whatever you want to call it. There's lots of different names for them that people give them, but as you said, it combines both the air data and the inertial.
So that's
reference.
what the ADR bit. That's the air data. What's the R bit stand
So
for?
the air data reference computer, basically, that's what it is. It's a little computer.
And there are three of them.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
There's three, and the best way to think of it is, we were looking at all those probes on the outside, like the pitot tubes and the static ports. They obviously are just sensing pressure, but the plane wants to know this in an electronic form. So the ADRs take that and turn it into electronic data.
Okay,
so that's what they do.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so we have the air data computers, and then the IR. So what's the IR?
So the IR is the IRS, so the inertial reference system, and there's three of them, and they are basically there to tell the aircraft when it's on stand, it goes somewhere else. It goes, okay, I was here, now I'm going there. So it's what we had before we had GPS.
Okay, so let's just rewind a little bit. Obviously, we all know how GPS works. It's very easy. You have satellites in the sky. It kind of talks to the satellite. The satellite kind of knows where it is, and it works out its position. We all kind of can figure that out. But there are a lot of Airbuses. I mean, the Airbus has been around since, 1987, I think
That's
we
correct,
said?
yeah.
And GPS wasn't really a thing back then.
No, I don't think because there are some aircraft, some of the Lufthansa ones don't have GPS still.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
they're
so
still
they're
flying on the line. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So they don't have GPS, so this is the only way you can actually navigate the aircraft is by using the IRS.
Yeah, that's right. And it's a very accurate system. It drifts a few miles after a 3 or 4 hour flight, which sounds quite a lot. But you've got to remember that's only 1 or 2 miles accuracy out without using any sort of GPS or anything like that. It's managed to keep a track of its own.
It's pretty clever.
It's pretty clever.
So an IRS system, just to step back a little bit, it's a gyroscope, which is a bit like a very old-fashioned child's toy, that like spinning top.
It's like a spinning top.
So it's basically it's like a very sophisticated spinning top, and because it's spinning, it can kind of move in space and time and keep track of it. It kind of hurts my brain a bit to figure out how it works. We don't really need to know how it works.
No.
We just need to know that it is working.
Yeah.
And effectively on this aeroplane, there are 3 of them, right?
There's 3 of them, and one thing that's interesting about it is, when you turn on a Boeing, you actually sort of hear that there's like a noise in the background.
We are hearing a tick 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 noise, but that's the engines because we've got the windows open.
Yeah, but when you hear that noise, and you hear it even when people are transmitting on the radios and stuff like that, they are the physical gyros that they have.
Really?
Because a lot of them have
737 is
you can
very
hear them,
noisy.
Yeah. Whereas the NG, you don't hear it as much because they have the same as this, which is the laser ring gyro. So it works exactly the same as a normal gyro, but it just uses a laser.
Okay, so it's a lot quieter.
It's silent. Yeah, it's basically silent.
So you can't hear the IRSs in an A320 at all?
Not really, no. Well, when you put them on, you'll realise there's no change in the noise.
Okay, all right. So so this is the IRSs. We may come back and start talking about some of this in a little bit more detail later on, but for now, we just need to kind of get them aligned, because at the moment they're off.
They're off, yeah.
And presumably we'll have to initialise them, and it takes a little while for them to figure out where they are.
Yeah, it normally takes about 10 or 11 minutes, which is fairly standard. It's like a normal aircraft, but it's really, really easy to do and operate, because all you have to do is you turn them from off to the nav position, and that's it. And you
Okay.
do it in a certain order.
Okay, so yeah, I've noticed that it's IR1, then 3, then 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Seems a bit weird. Is this a weird Airbusism?
It's a weird Airbus thing because they think of it as the one on the left is like the captain's one, the one on the right, so IR2, is the first officer's one, the one in the middle is the standby one. And they do this a lot, where it's
okay.
like left, right, middle is standby.
Right, so you think of it more like left, right, middle rather than 1, 2, and 3.
Try and think of it like that. So that's why when you turn it on, we turn it on as 1, 2, 3.
Right.
So left, right, middle.
Okay. Now, when you turn it on, we get this little on-bat thing. Now, this is nothing to do with Batman. This is Robin. This is a little test.
It's like as I understand it, it's basically testing to see, I'm on the battery, and then it goes off the battery, and when you see the on-bat go away, you know that the units are using the external power, the AC power from the aircraft, which is what we were saying it wants to do.
Okay.
So as soon as the light's gone away, then it's fine. But with us, we don't have to look for it. There are different airlines, different procedures. But,
okay, so there's no for Eurojet, we don't have to sit and wait for the on-bat light to go out.
No, we just go for it because...
So we go da-da-da, and then it will come on, we go da-da-da. So it's saying on-bat, we're not sure whether that's for the 2 or the 3, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You just leave it. Because I think where that comes from is if it stayed on the battery, we would probably get an ECAM warning us anyway.
Or the light would stay on.
Or the light would stay on.
Yeah.